chops. Warrior Mania is sweeping the islands after last night's historic win against Boise State. Good evening, everyone. I'm Stacy Lowe. It was a proud moment for the Warriors, their fans, and for the state. And the day after, the excitement is still nearing fever pitch. Julia Norton-Dennis begins our team coverage tonight.
It was a great game. I still have chicken skin.
One day after the University of Hawaii Warriors win the WAC championship, the high hasn't left the fans.
It was well worth every second of my life. To me, this was like unbelievable. This is like history, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
This die-hard Warriors fan is still reeling from the experience of seeing the Warriors beat Boise State, and she's not alone.
The Colt, they made their halftime adjustments, and they came out. They scored in like a minute and a half, that first touchdown, and it was all downhill from there where, it seemed easy for them to score.
Fans didn't only talk about the game, they put their money where their mouths were, snapping up Warrior jerseys, t-shirts, caps, and other memorabilia from the Rainbow Teak in Ward Center. This usually quiet store was like Walmart on Black Friday. People were standing in line outside the store, waiting to pay for their items.
Excuse me. I expected it.
Really?
Yeah, I went online, but I decided to just come to the store anyways, just check it out.
And my son called me up. My husband's from Hawaii, and they watched the game yesterday. And this is the only thing that's on his wish list, is to have a Colts jersey.
The Warriors played their hearts out, and their fans were right there with them all the way to the win. Julia Norton-Dennis, KGMB 9 News.
And the Warrior game against Washington is now a sellout. Public tickets are all gone and less than 200 student tickets remain. Security officials are also warning fans to be on the lookout for counterfeit tickets. Because Hawaii still has one more game to focus on, the Warriors say their WAC title celebration will be short-lived, but they sure enjoyed the moment last night. Sports director Liz Chun was there and joins us now with more.
Stacey, you're right. The Warriors did allow themselves to soak it in at all, but this win over Boise State is by far the biggest win in the program for what it means for Hawaii this season and for the rest of the conference. The Warriors handed the Broncos only their second WAC loss in 6 seasons.
A WAC trophy ceremony for Hawaii is what the Warriors envisioned would be the end result versus Boise State, but when it happened, the 39-27 victory was that much sweeter.
Oh man, that's the greatest, man. The crowd really helped. I mean, we worked hard. We worked hard all season long, man. Summer, spring, we all came together before this game.
I believed from the beginning that we'll come this far, and finally, everything just played out exactly how we wanted, and then we came out with the win. Now we're WAC champs.
I'm just proud for all these guys on this team that work hard. I'm proud for this whole island that stand behind it, all of our family members, just everything. It's just beautiful.
Colt Brennan made his return from his concussion in what could be a turning point in his Heisman campaign. Brennan's first scoring strike set a new NCAA record for touchdown passes, giving him 122. But he didn't stop there. He threw 4 more in the game. Brennan says this WAC win is partly why he passed up on the NFL.
I never imagined it being this great, and we got 1 week left. It's great. We got a WAC championship. We got 1 week left though, and if we can just put everything we have into this week and get through this season 12-0, what a great run, what a great ride.
UH's first win of the WAC title outright was celebrated here and across the country. Besides a national TV audience, the Warriors had their first sellout at the Aloha Stadium all year.
It was unbelievable, man. Our crowd was great. It was like the 12th man out here on the field, and that pretty much helped us get this win, so we're just thankful for it.
With Hawaii holding off Boise State, the Warriors wrapped up their WAC season a perfect 8-0.
Again, this is the first time Hawaii claims the WAC crown for itself. Until this point, the Warriors had won a share of the title in 1999 and 1992. Coming up later in sports, Mike Cherry will have more on the game and the message the Warriors hope they sent on national TV. Liz Chan, KGMB 9 News.
All right, thank you, Liz. And before the game was over, fans were yelling BCS, hoping that last night's win will vault the Warriors into one of the 4 major college bowl games in January. While most sports analysts agree that the team will have to win against Washington next week, the Warriors athletic director and the WAC commissioner say the win should go a long way for the pollsters.
I think there's still a whole lot of options, and that's the problem. And that's why, I keep saying, and it's not a joke when I say anybody can go anywhere. There's a lot of football to still be played.
The polls have questioned whether Hawaii is a legit team. I think they proved it tonight, and I would expect that the polls will reflect that on Sunday.
Tonight, Aloha Stadium sits empty and quiet in Halawa, but it was a completely different story last night when you add 50,000 screaming fans. The stands were as green as the grass on the field. Whether it was your shirt or your skin, it didn't matter where you wore your Warrior pride, just as long as you didn't show up empty-handed.
It took me a few days and a couple of trials for the Hawaiian Islands, but I actually did it.
The cheers and the chants from the sold-out crowd echoed throughout Aloha Stadium, and as the clock ticked down to a WAC championship, brave fans jumped the walls and stormed the field. It was the biggest crowd to rush the field ever in school history.
It was something very special, never been done before. Tribute to the guys, to the coaching staff, and just for the state of Hawaii.
I've been to every home game so far, and as far as the rush and field thing, this is the first time I've ever experienced it, so I think it's great.
Even some familiar faces couldn't help but get in on the action.
This is a great day for Honolulu, great day for Hawaii. Why not? We're the champions.
To many people, last night's win was more than just a game. It was a chance to be part of something bigger.
We made history. Basically, everybody that was here tonight was a big part of history.
And before the game, worries about out-of-control fans prompted this PSA by Junes Jones, asking everyone to have fun but behave. In the end, with thousands rushing the field and more than 100 HPD officers on hand, no arrests were made. However, during the game, about 10 people were removed for being too rowdy.
An undefeated season, WAC champs, BCS bowl bid, all of that rode on the shoulders of the Warriors last night against Boise State. But since words alone cannot explain how big the victory was, let's go to some pictures. Cole Brennan entered last night's game just one TD away from breaking Ty Detmer's mark. But before he got that chance, Ian Johnson busted this one for 50 yards for the score. He had 75 yards rushing in the first half. But a bit later, and Colt finds Ryan Grice-Mullen, and that's number 122, and he would not stop there. Brennan would connect with 4 different Warriors for 5 touchdowns on the night and 495 yards passing. Jason Rivers and C.J. Hawthorne both went over the century mark, but the biggest recipient of those throws was junior Devon Bess. Bess finished with a school record 15 catches for 181 yards and 2 scores. And Hawaii's defense, they were also key, holding Ian Johnson to just 11 yards on 7 carries in the second half. As for the passing game, Broncos QB Taylor Tharp was pressured all night and sacked 3 times by the Warriors, who also picked off the QB early on in the first quarter. And when the clock struck 0, rather than turning into pumpkins, Hawaii turned into outright WAC champions for the first time in school history.
I've been here for 4 years. Boise beat us bad all my years, and just to get one victory from them, it feels good, man. It feels great. I don't know what I'm gonna do right now, but hey, we're WAC champs.
Before this game, we've been hearing all this kind of stuff that we don't deserve to be a top 25 team. Everybody keep doubting us, but it doesn't matter now. We're champs. We just got to finish up the season. We just got one more game to go, and then we'll see where we go from there.
This is big. I don't know, it's just huge. Like, just to overcome so much stuff and just make history. And we always talked about it. The only thing that could hurt ourselves is ourselves. And we break from inside out, but we stayed strong the whole way. And we thank everybody, the whole state, for supporting us and stuff.
The win also had crowds chanting BCS. The Warriors came into the weekend in the 15th spot of the BCS rankings. Hawaii needs to finish in the 12th spot or higher to secure that BCS berth. After the game, more people talked.
Team. It was a BCS caliber team last year. 18 points away from being undefeated last year, but that was the lesson we learned. We learned how to finish football games, and this year we put in the 3 of those games, and we found a way to finish. And just like tonight, that's the 4th game we finished.
Going into this game, I think we were favored by 3 points. You know, we beat them by 2 possessions, so hopefully they look into that. But regardless of what they think, you know, and you know, the respect issue or not, we just want to just continue to do what we do week in and week out, and that's put W's on the board.
So the Warriors will have to wait until tomorrow to find out where they stand in the BCS rankings. And if they don't crack the top 12, they'll have to beat Washington, who visits Aloha Stadium next week, Saturday.